when the grid goes down for real. I'm talking about events like the 2003 Northeast blackout that hit about 55 million people, or the 2021 Texas freeze that proved just how thin the wall of modern life really is. And in every one of these events, a pattern emerges. It's a 3-day pattern. For the first 24 hours, it's almost an adventure. There's a novelty to it. By day 2, that novelty is long gone. Anxiety starts to creep in as the phone batteries die and the refrigerators get quiet and warm. But day 3, that's when a switch flips. When the unprepared run out of food and water, desperation changes things. It can turn good people, your friends, your neighbors, into a threat. Suddenly, your pantry is a treasure chest, and the smell of your cooking or the quiet hum of a generator doesn't just mean you're surviving, it means you're a target. They don't have to be bad people, they just have to be a parent with a hungry child. This isn't just theory. Grid operators and reliability experts are sounding the alarm. Groups like the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, NERC, and even the Department of Energy have issued stark warnings. They point to a perfect storm. Our demand for electricity is exploding thanks to things like AI data centers, while at the same time, older, reliable power plants are being retired faster than they can be replaced. Under extreme conditions, some projections warn that blackouts could become far more frequent and last much, much longer. This isn't about fear, it's about forecasting. So in this video, we're going beyond just what to stockpile. We're breaking down the 10 everyday items that will have your neighbors knocking, and more importantly, we're talking about the operational security, the opsec, you need to make sure they never know you have them. Because the best survival tool isn't a rifle or a fancy water filter, it's the ability to become invisible. Number 1, sanitation and hygiene supplies. Number 1 on our new list is sanitation. I'm talking about soap, toilet paper, toothpaste, and bleach. In a grid-down world, poor hygiene can become the number 1 killer. Modern sanitation relies on functioning water and sewer systems. When those fail, filth accumulates fast. Without proper hygiene, communicable diseases that we've confined to history books can come roaring back. A simple infection can become a death sentence. Keeping yourself and your area clean isn't about comfort, it's about preventing the spread of bacteria and pathogens that could jeopardize your health. The giveaway is simple. You look and smell too clean. While everyone else is grimy and starting to smell, your family still seems healthy. Your clothes are a little too fresh. A neighbor catches the scent of soap or sees you carrying a roll of toilet paper, and the secret is out. You've just announced that you have the means to stay healthy, a resource more valuable than gold when sickness spreads. The solution is layered hygiene and discretion. Stockpile soap, hand sanitizer, and feminine hygiene products, but keep them hidden. For day-to-day cleaning, use less obvious supplies. A diluted bleach solution, for example, is a powerful disinfectant but less of a luxury item. Practice your hygiene routines out of sight. Remember, cleanliness is health, and in a collapse, you don't want to advertise how healthy you are. The gray man theory? Before we hit the list, we have to talk about a core concept, the gray man theory. In the world of preparedness, this is simply the art of blending in. It's about being completely uninteresting, utterly unremarkable. It's the exact opposite of spray painting. Looters will be shot on your windows. All that does is scream, "Hey, we have stuff worth stealing and the guns to protect it." The real goal is to look just as miserable as everyone else, while quietly having everything you need to take care of your family. You don't want to look like a fortress. You want to look like you were already hit, or like you have nothing worth taking in the first place. This entire video is built on that idea. The biggest threat in a long-term blackout isn't some roving gang of bandits, at least not at first. It's the good person, the desperate father next door who hears your generator and remembers his child's medicine is spoiling in his now warm refrigerator. He's forced to think about doing things he never would before. Our job is to make sure he never has to make that choice, by making sure he never knows we have what he needs. It's about avoiding the conflict entirely. OPSEC is your shield. Let's get into the items. Number 1, sanitation and hygiene supplies. Number 1 on our new list is sanitation. I'm talking about soap, toilet paper, toothpaste, and bleach. In a grid-down world, poor hygiene can become the number 1 killer. Modern sanitation relies on functioning water and sewer systems. When those fail, filth accumulates fast. Without proper hygiene, communicable diseases that we've confined to history books can come roaring back. A simple infection can become a death sentence. Keeping yourself and your area clean isn't about comfort, it's about preventing the spread of bacteria and pathogens that could jeopardize your health. The giveaway is simple: you look and smell too clean. While everyone else is grimy and starting to smell, your family still seems healthy. Your clothes are a little too fresh. A neighbor catches the scent of soap or sees you carrying a roll of toilet paper, and the secret is out. You've just announced that you have the means to stay healthy, a resource more valuable than gold when sickness spreads. The solution is layered hygiene and discretion. Stockpile soap, hand sanitizer, and feminine hygiene products, but keep them hidden. For day-to-day cleaning, use less obvious supplies. A diluted bleach solution, for example, is a powerful disinfectant but less of a luxury item. Practice your hygiene routines out of sight. Remember, cleanliness is health, and in a collapse, you don't want to advertise how healthy you are. Number 2. Salt, sugar, and spices, the currency of flavor. Number 2 are the things that make food worth eating: salt, sugar, and spices. We often think of bland beans and rice, but a lack of these simple items is more than just a morale problem. Salt is essential for your body to function. Without it, you face dehydration and muscle failure. Historically, salt was a primary method for preserving meat and fish long before refrigeration. Sugar is a dense source of calories and a key component in preserving fruits. Other spices, like garlic powder or cinnamon, not only make bland food palatable but can lift spirits in a stressful time. These items will vanish from stores instantly. The signal here is subtle but powerful. You just look better. You're not suffering from the fatigue and muscle cramps that come with sodium deficiency. The faint, pleasant smell of seasoned food cooking is a stark contrast to the blandness everyone else is enduring. A neighbor watching you eat a meal that you actually seem to be enjoying is a dead giveaway that you have a secret ingredient they desperately want. Stockpile these items in bulk, but store them with cunning. Salt, sugar, and spices have an almost infinite shelf life if kept dry. Repackage them into unassuming, moisture-proof containers. Mislabeled buckets are your friend. A bucket labeled sand or drywall compound is much less interesting than one labeled sugar. You should also have knowledge of natural salt sources in your area if any exist. Your flavorful existence should be your family's secret alone. Number 3. Vices, alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine. Number 3 is a controversial but critical category. Vices. Specifically alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine. These habit-forming substances become incredibly powerful bargaining chips in a world under stress. Addiction doesn't stop when the grid goes down. For millions, the craving for a cigarette, a drink, or a cup of coffee will become an overwhelming need. Withdrawal can make people irritable, irrational, and desperate. These items will not only retain their value, but that value will skyrocket in a crisis. You don't even have to use them to become a target. A neighbor simply remembering times you're a smoker, or that you always have a bottle of whiskey for guests, is enough. In a collapse, that memory becomes a map. They'll come to you, first to ask, then to barter, and finally, maybe to take. The desperation of an addict is a force of nature, and it will be directed right at your door. If you choose to stock these items, your opsec must be flawless. They are for barter, not for personal use that advertises your supply. High-proof alcohol is a priority, as it can also be used as a disinfectant, a pain reliever, or fuel. Store smaller, easily tradable units like airplane bottles of liquor or individual packs of cigarettes. Never conduct a trade at your primary location. Your stockpile of vices is a powerful tool, but if its existence is known, it's a liability that can get you killed. Number 4. Duct tape and fasteners, the universal repair kit. Coming in at number 4 is the humble roll of duct tape and its cousins: screws, nails, zip ties, and glues. In a world where you can't just buy a replacement, the ability to repair what you have becomes a superpower. When things break in a blackout, they stay broken. A torn backpack, a broken tool handle, a leaky roof, these are no longer inconveniences. They are major threats to your survival. Without access to hardware stores, the simple materials that hold our world together become priceless. Duct tape, in particular, is modern survival magic, capable of fixing almost anything. The evidence is in your continued functioning. While your neighbor's belongings are falling apart, yours are not. The sound of a hammer or the sight of a neatly patched tarp is a clear signal that you have the means to fix things. A neighbor who sees you repairing a fence will wonder what else you have the tools and materials to build or protect. You're no longer just surviving, you're engineering, and that makes you a person of interest. Stockpile these items now, while they're cheap and plentiful. Have multiple rolls of quality duct tape. Organize a robust kit of assorted screws, nails, nuts, and bolts. Store them in a discreet, organized fashion. When you need to make a repair, do it quietly and out of sight if possible. Your goal is to look like things are falling apart just like everyone else, while secretly holding everything together. Number 5. Pest control. At number 5 is a threat people rarely consider until it's too late. Pest control. We're talking about mouse traps, ant bait, and insect repellents. In a crisis, sanitation standards plummet and pest populations explode. Rodents and insects are not just a nuisance, they are a direct threat to your health and your food supply. A family of mice can chew through a bag of rice in a night, contaminating everything with their feces and spreading diseases like hantavirus. Protecting your stockpile is as important as having it in the first place. This is a silent threat that gives you away with what's time's missing asterisk. Your house is quiet. There's no sound of rats in the walls. You aren't being swarmed by flies or cockroaches. A neighbor who is losing their food stores to vermin will notice that you aren't. They'll see that your garden isn't being devoured by slugs. That discrepancy marks you as someone who knew how to prepare, making your home a prime target for their next meal. The solution is a proactive, multi-layered defense. Stock up on classic snap traps, bait stations, and insect sprays now. Create a perimeter around your home and food storage areas. Salt can be used as a deterrent against slugs and ants. Most importantly, practice strict cleanliness with your food. Keep all supplies in rodent-proof containers. Winning the war against pests happens quietly, long before your neighbors even know the battle has begun. We're halfway through. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, and you're starting to see how critical it is to be discreet, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. We get into practical, no-fluff skills like this every week to help you protect your family. Number 6. Sewing and mending supplies, the key to longevity. Number 6 is something our great-grandparents would have found obvious: sewing and repair kits. This includes needles, heavy-duty thread, buttons, and fabric patches. In a long-term crisis, you can't buy new clothes, new shoes, or a new tent. Everything you own is finite. A simple ripped seam on your only warm jacket or a hole in your boot can be a disaster. The ability to mend and maintain your gear is what makes it last. Without it, you'll be dealing with rags in a matter of months. This is another giveaway of quiet competence. While others are walking around with torn clothes held together with makeshift bindings, your family's clothing remains intact. A patch on a pair of pants, a newly sewn button on a coat, these are signs of foresight. A neighbor sees that you have the ability to maintain your gear and immediately understands that you are a planner, someone who has other, more valuable supplies stored away. Your sewing kit should be robust and hidden. Don't just get a cheap hotel kit. Invest in heavy-duty needles, upholstery thread, and a speedy stitcher for repairing canvas and leather. Stockpile iron-on patches for quick, no-sew repairs on tents or jackets, and most importantly, learn the basic skills of sewing now. Like all good preps, the knowledge of how to use the tool is as important as the tool itself. Number 7. Baking soda and vinegar. At number 7, we have two of the most versatile substances you can stockpile: baking soda and vinegar. Their uses go far beyond cooking. These two cheap household items are a prepper's secret weapon. When combined, their chemical reaction can unclog drains, clean surfaces, and deodorize. Vinegar is an effective disinfectant and can be used for preserving food. Baking soda can be used as a fire extinguisher for grease fires, a toothpaste alternative, a cleaning abrasive, and to neutralize odors. When commercial cleaners and chemicals are gone, these two take their place. The signs are subtle. Your camp or home simply smells cleaner. You don't have a clogged drain that's backing up. Your clothes, washed with a bit of vinegar, don't have the mildew smell that comes from being washed in stagnant water. If a neighbor with a blocked sink sees you effortlessly clear a drain with a fizzy concoction, you've just revealed you have a supply of incredibly useful chemicals they didn't think to store. Stockpile large quantities of both. They are cheap and last forever. Store them in their original containers, but keep the bulk of your supply hidden away from your primary kitchen area. Learn their myriad uses now. You can create cleaning solutions, wash your hair, soothe insect bites, and more. This knowledge, combined with your hidden stock, gives you a huge advantage in maintaining health and home without advertising your preparedness. Number 8. Pet food and supplies. For number 8, we have a massive emotional vulnerability, your pet's needs. Specifically, pet food. In a crisis, people will not abandon their pets. They are family. But pet food will be one of the first things to disappear from shelves. A starving pet is a source of immense psychological distress for an owner, and that desperation can lead people to do things they never thought they would. The signal is painfully obvious. Your dog is fed and quiet while your neighbor's dog is whining, howling, or barking from hunger. The sight or sound of your healthy, happy pet is a constant reminder to your neighbor of what they have failed to provide for their own. That sound will gnaw at them, turning their love for their pet into desperation directed at you. Your pet food stockpile requires the same opsec as your own. Store it in large, airtight, and rodent-proof containers, preferably not in the original, obvious bags. Mislabeled buckets are again your best friend. Ration the food from the start to extend your supply, and supplement it with safe table scraps from your own meals. Feed your pets indoors and out of sight. You must protect your ability to care for your animals by making it invisible to others. Number 9. Heirloom seeds and garden tools. Number 9 is about the long game, heirloom seeds and the simple hand tools needed to plant a garden. A stockpile of food is a finite resource. A packet of seeds is a renewable one. In a true long-term collapse, the ability to grow your own food is the only path to genuine self-sufficiency. But not all seeds are created equal. Hybrid seeds often produce sterile offspring, meaning you can't save the seeds for the next season. Heirloom seeds, however, grow true to type, allowing you to save seeds and create an independent food source. The signal is a green sprout in a world of brown. A small garden, no matter how well hidden, is a beacon of hope and a source of food. The sight of fresh vegetables, the evidence of your ability to create food from nothing, makes you the most valuable resource in the neighborhood. People who are watching their canned goods dwindle will see your garden as their only hope for the future, and they may try to make it their own. Start your security now. Don't plant an obvious victory garden in your front yard. Think about discreet, container gardening on a hidden patio or even indoors near a window. Choose heirloom seeds that are known to grow well in your climate. Stockpile them in a cool, dark, dry place. Have the simple, quiet hand tools you need: a trowel, a hoe, a watering can. Your goal is to become a food producer, but that production must be invisible to everyone but your family. Number 10. Knowledge and entertainment. Finally, number 10 is the most abstract but arguably one of the most important resources: knowledge and entertainment. This means physical books, manuals, and simple, powerless games. In a world with no internet, no TV, and no power, two things happen. We lose access to all stored human knowledge, and we are crushed by boredom and fear. How do you fix a small engine? How do you identify an edible plant? How do you keep a child from panicking in the dark? Information is a critical tool. Likewise, morale is a survival multiplier. Without it, people give up. The signs are subtle. You seem to know what to do. You're calm. At night, a neighbor might see the flicker of candlelight and hear the faint sound of laughter from a card game. While they are sitting in the dark, consumed by fear and boredom, you are maintaining social bonds and keeping your mind sharp. This competence and high morale is a stark signal that you are not just surviving, but potentially thriving, and they will want to know why. Build a physical library. Get hard copies of books on first aid, mechanics, gardening, and other essential skills. Have paper maps of your area. For morale, stockpile playing cards, board games, and books for pleasure. These items provide a necessary escape and a way to maintain normalcy and sanity. In a world of darkness and silence, the ability to access information and create your own simple joy is a form of power that must be protected. So there you have it. 10 often overlooked items that become priceless the moment the lights go out. Sanitation supplies, salt and spices, vices, repair materials, pest control, sewing kits, baking soda and vinegar, pet food, heirloom seeds, and knowledge. But the recurring theme here isn't just about having this stuff, it's about how you manage it. The principle that ties all of this together is operational security. It's the understanding that in a real crisis, the most valuable thing you have isn't your stockpile or your skills. It's the fact that nobody knows you have them. True preparedness isn't about building a fortress and waiting for a fight. It's about being the gray man. It's about having the discipline and the intelligence to avoid the fight in the first place. The unprepared will be loud, they'll be visible, and they'll be desperate. Your goal is to be quiet, invisible, and self-sufficient. Your safety doesn't come from having more than your neighbor, it comes from your neighbor never even thinking of you as an option. This isn't paranoia, it's prudence. It's understanding human nature and planning for the predictable patterns of desperation. By being smart and discreet now, you give your family the ultimate gift. The ability to ride out the storm in peace, unnoticed and untouched. The habits of secrecy and security you build today are what will actually keep you safe when the lights go out. We've covered a lot, and now I want to hear from you. What's the one item on this list you're most concerned about protecting? More importantly, what's a clever, non-OPSEC breaking tip you have for hiding a key prep? Share your knowledge in the comments below. Let's all help each other get smarter and safer. If you found this video valuable, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay safe and stay smart.